Unaware, she fought an inevitable battle. Kalyani, that's me. I come from Kumbakonam, a beautiful town located on the banks of river Kaveri. Tanjavur district. Delta, ma'am, Delta. Okay. I'm a cook and the children of my household, that is my Aya's household, they love my cooking. Let it be the potato kara fry or mutton biryani, chicken kurma, pongal, appalam, anything I do. They love it. And Aya's house is my everything, especially the kitchen. I would say I'm the queen of the kitchen there. Today I'm going to meet my daughter. I'm actually 58 years old. I have a daughter and I have a son. And I am very, very happy. Today I'm going to meet my daughter and grandson. So, as I travel, I would ask you to also come along with me to know me. I have a cousin, Shekhar. He's the one who always picks me up from Aya's house and takes me and drops me near CRC bus depot. And then I take the Adudurai bus from there. And then I go. So, as I am planning to go today, my Amma, Aya's wife, gave me some money and I have tucked it away in my bucket purse. Every time I use my bucket purse, I hide it behind my pallu. So no one can pickpocket. Such a nice place to keep my money, you know. If you have to ask me how I came here to Amma's house, it's a long story. You know, I had completed my 10th standard, passing, and then I had gone to register in the employment office in Tanjavur district, those times. And then that man sitting for registration, he asked me to pay 500 rupees. A girl from a poor family. What will I have? I did not have the money. So I told him, sir, I don't have the money. I came home and I asked my father. He started abusing my mother. He had consumed alcohol and he was beating her because I had asked for money. I thought, what a sad condition. Anyway, I had 10 days to earn 500. So I thought I will make money within 10 days. And I went to get the thatch ready. A few of the ladies used to go get the thatch ready. They would soak it in water for around 15 to 20 days and then they would start getting the thatch ready. So I learned it and I did a few. But what to do? It was only 5 paisa per completion of one thatch. There was no way that I could get the money. 500 for the registration. I knew it. And then I went and asked my Periamma. She works in the big house. They call her Kaka. She grew up there in the big house. And all the servants are always selected by her. So I went and asked my Periamma, Amma, get me a job there in the big house. So I went there and Kaka took me. I met Amma. Oh, Amma. First time I saw her, I thought she was a goddess. She had beautiful big red bindi with long plaited hair. Her hair came almost till her knees. And then she had decked up her hair with beautiful jasmine flowers, with diamond bangles on both her hands. Ah, A goddess she was to my eyes. I said, "Vanakkanga, Amma." And Amma looked at me with a smile and didn't tell me much. Just turned to Kaka, my Perima, the one who took me there. Her name is actually Lakshmi, but in the big house, they call her Kaka. She asked, "What is this, Kaka?" And at once my Perima, that is my auntie, English word auntie, she told Amma, "I have brought this girl and she is looking out for a job. She has completed her 10th standard and knows how to read and is very, very good." Amma looked at me again and then said, "Okay, what will she do?" At once my Perimam, my auntie, she told, "She will do any work. We don't have much money to support her. And even if you don't give money now, you can give it all together during her marriage, Amma. But just keep the girl. Her father is abusing the mother and the girl is desperate for a job. I didn't want her to go and work with the thatch. That's why I brought her here." Amma looked at me and she smiled again and she said, "What is your name? Amma?" I silently replied, "Amma, Kalyaning, Amma." Amma at once said, "Kalyanikku kolam poda varuma?" I was happy and I said, "Yes, Amma," because I knew how to put kolam with dots and really big columns. I also knew how to do rangoli. I immediately told Amma, "Amma, I know how to make rangoli and kolam as well." Okay, my job was fixed. I could come in the morning and make kolam, and then again in the evening, draw the column again, and I was promised 100 rupees to do this work every month, morning and evening. I was happy, but I knew I could not go back to the register office, employment office, pay the 500 and get my job. I started working in Amma's house. It was a lovely place. And slowly, I got other duties as well in Amma's house. They permitted me to wash the vessels. So from just drawing kolam morning and evening, I also was engaged in washing vessels morning and afternoon and evening. Amma liked me very much. So she called Kaka again, my Perima, my auntie, and told her, "Let Kalyani work here. Call her parents. I would like to talk to them." The next day, I decided that I am going to stay in Amma's house and work. So I packed a few clothes and went with my parents. Amma looked and smiled at me and said, "Smart girl, you knew what was on my mind." I giggled. And Amma looked at my parents and said, "Jembavali was my mother's name." She knew my mother. She said, "Jembavali, I like Kalyani very much. Let her stay here in the house and work." So my salary was also increased. It was wonderful that within a short time, I had responsibilities of making the kolam and washing the vessels, and now was asked to stay in Amma and Ayya's house. That was amazing. They never asked everyone or anyone just like that to stay in the house and work. I felt so special, so lucky. So I said, yes, 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 yes. This is it. This is life. I started working in a very happy way. Amma gave me my place to sleep in the servants' quarters. And there was this cook. Tollakadu Meena, they called her. You know why they called her Tollakadu Meena? Because she had big ears. Her earlobes were long and droopy. She belonged to the Maravar community. Most of the women during the 1930s, had long ears or their earlobes stretched because they used to wear the tandatti. It was the symbol of honor and pride. It so happened that Tollakadu Meena went to her village. And as she went, her grandson had ripped off the tondatti and sold it off. She felt so embarrassed that she refused to come back to work. This happened after 6 months, as soon as I joined work. Amma and Ayya were sad at Meena's loss, but they knew what pride it was for her. And having her earlobes cut just by her grandson was not very good. So Amma and Ayya, as generous as they are, they sent some money to Meena to help her secure her future, and also told if help needed, they will send a little more. Amma started cooking, and I used to cut onions and grate coconuts for her, peel potatoes, cut other vegetables, clean the fish or mutton or chicken whenever it was bought, and used to watch Amma cook. Then one day I said, Amma, can I cook? My aunt, Kaka, as she's called in the house, had come when I was asking Amma this. And she was shocked and said, Kalyani, don't you know what you're asking? You are a girl from the lower caste. You cannot go into their kitchen and cook. Stop it. Amma turned and looked at me. She smiled and said, you want to cook? Come, let me tell you how to cook. My aunt was flabbergasted. She didn't know what to do. But Amma let me cook in the house. And it was a big thing. All the other servants working in the barns and in the workshop. They had a workshop also. They were shocked and everyone said, Amma has allowed a girl from the lower caste to cook. Amma didn't care. I cooked my first meal that day. The children of the house came, sat at the table, and they said, wonderful rasam, wonderful urlakalangu poriyal, potato fry. And they enjoyed whatever I cooked. They tasted and they were happy. My life went on like this for years. And one day, I think somewhere around 28th of May, in the year 1980, my drunken father, Velu, he came home and told Amma, I have plans for Kalyani. I want to get her married. There's a very nice boy from my community who has come asking for her hand. I did want to get married. Actually, I was in love. I was in love with a person in the workshop who worked in Amma and Ayya's house. He used to come to the kitchen to take tea for the workers of the workshop. That's how I met him. His name was Jayabal. And he was not from my community, but he was very nice, tall, a man. He was a blacksmith. So I liked him, and I didn't want to get married to the person whom my father had chosen. Amma looked at me and said, Kalyani, go. Your father has come and looks like he has got a good groom for you. I was hesitant. But anyway, Amma had told me to go. What will I do now? So I said, Amma, I have some work. I will finish and go in the evening. The groom will come only in the evening. So my father could not say anything. He left. After he left, I was too scared to tell Amma that I was in love with a workshop man. But again, there was Rita. She was Amma's sister-in-law. So I went to Rita and I told her, Akka, I like Jaibal. I want to get married to him. She was shocked and said, Kalyani, what are you telling? Do you really want to get married to Jaibal? I said, yes, Akka, I want to. And she said, okay, I will tell. She went, told Amma, and Amma told Ayya, and Ayya called my father and said, Velu, your daughter looks, what to say? She doesn't want the groom you have chosen for her. I have chosen someone. What do you say? My father could not reply. So there, my marriage got fixed. I will never forget what happened to me that day. Now, Jaibal was from Satanur, not far from my place, but again, I had to leave Kumbakonam. I had to leave Ayya and Amma's house, the comforts of Ayya's and Amma's house. I had a thick yellow rope around my neck. They called it tali, and Ayya and Amma had bought the tali made of gold, real gold, real gold, and also a pair of gold bangles as a gift for me. And then there were 20 people who took me away from my house to my in-laws' house. And there were also other gifts which were given to me. I was crying as I left Kumbakonam. Not that I had to leave my mother and my father, but that I have to leave Amma and Ayya and go. There was no bus stop when I got down in the village of Satanur. There was a small thatched tea stall which said, "Get off here." So I got there, and then there were two drummers waiting with the Kalyana Melam and Nadaswaram. And there were also a little group of boys who danced and threw their hands in the air happily to welcome me and Jaibal. So I was nervous as a new bride, and I looked at Jaibal. So the crowd moved down the dusty, uneven path, wide enough to consider, I can call that a road. I was about to fall and stumble over a stone. Luckily, my husband caught my hand, and you know what he said? "My dear, I know you love your land, but don't be in such a hurry to kiss Mother Earth so soon. However, you will also have to learn to walk on this path. Our roads will be so forever, rough and uneven. We don't belong to the higher caste to be considered or given good roads." I was just staring at him, and he said, "Okay," because this was not the same condition in my place, Kumbakonam. And I said, okay, if that is so, oh, you want to know what happened after my marriage? I will tell you soon. Very soon. Wait for me. If you want to listen to my story.